Hi, Patrick here, Have Cheetah Will View. Welcome to another edition of Dollar Theater. And this time we'll be talking about 2017's Dead Again in Tombstone. So this is the sequel to the original film, Dead in Tombstone, which starred Danny Treijo and Mickey Rourke. Um, Basically, sort of has a Ghost Rider type of theme to it, where back in the Old West, Danny Trejo's character gets killed, but he makes a deal with the devil to come back to Earth as long as he does what the devil wants, which is killing bad guys. Could never understand that plot line, but it works, right? It does work. So they decided to bring this back, and this time they put Jake Busey as the bad guy, but no Mickey Rourke. Mickey did not do this movie, so that tells me that the budget for this film was much less than the first one. Um, and it pretty much is, but it's very well done. It's very well done. Dead in Tombstone, we find Guerrero still on the devil's doing the devil's work. He was going around killing people that are worse than he is, and so he comes up to a town, and a survivor had mentioned that Guerrero is coming for them, and so we see Guerrero come up, in a hail of bullets and a lot of justice. Um, it is sort of weird to see a bad guy going to war on worse guys. It is sort of a cool thing. And so anyway, uh, then we meet Jake Busey's his character Jackson Boomer is leading a ragtag group of Confederates, ex-Confederates. I think the Confederates are now our version of the Indians. Um, every single Western I can think of recently has the Confederates as the bad guys. Uh, Tombstone, the Sackets. Let's see, he had some ex-Confederates in there. Let's see, you had some ex-Confederates in the Magnificent Seven, the TV series. Um, yeah, it's always going to be Confederates now. Um, they're the new Indians. So anyway, shoot up a gunfight at Rio Bravo had ex-Confederates as the bad guys. So anyway, these guys, and he has about nine of them. There's about nine in Jackson's gang. They all come into this town. They're looking for a box. They're looking for a what they call a bone box. And so he's been chasing it all along, and is supposed to be able to raise the dead. So he's going to raise the dead and rule the world. But the only person who seems to know where the relic or the box is at is Guerrero. And Guerrero happens to inadvertently lead these guys into the town where Guerrero's mom and daughter, who don't really have much of a relationship with Guerrero, um, and he leads them inadvertently to the town. And while his daughter is not very welcoming at all, um, his mama still has love for Guerrero. But of course, has found him, and so much mayhem ensues in this small town as they're looking for this bone box, which encases a book. They're after the book, and so various gunfights happened. Guerrero actually gets killed twice more, and he is miraculously brought back by an entity known as Dr. Goldsworthy, though I dare say his name is probably Luke, if I had to go that far. Um, but he is able to bring back Guerrero back twice from the clutches of hell, because he says that Guerrero has a chance to redeem himself, and he should take advantage of that. And so Guerrero, he ends up fighting on the side of the Angels, and yeah, it's a big brawl at the end. Um, all right, I can't go too much detail because I don't want to give it away, but I'll give you some thoughts about this movie. One, I liked it. I did. I found myself really liking this movie. I liked the first one as well. The first one was very well done. Mickey Rourke playing the devil, and basically taking the Peter Fonda role as in Ghost Rider, and he did that with in the first Tombstone film. Now we don't have that in this movie. We have, like he says, he's sort of a Dr. Goldsworthy, sort of like a white hat kind of guy. Is how he says himself. So we don't see any devil in here. And this story is uh, about Guerrero's possible redemption, and I say possible because you just don't know quite. You're not really quite sure. Um, the one thing that killed me about this was the size of Jackson Boomer's gang. They rode into town with like 9 guys, and all the gunfights that happened afterwards, he must have stuck in a battalion because Guerrero killed probably about 40 people on screen, shot them up, and I'm going like, well, how did that happen when he only had 9 guys in his gang? I didn't see any calls for reinforcements or anything like that, but he ended up killing like 40 guys, which makes great for gunfights. And one thing I really liked about this, and they added a real nice touch to this, and it's sort of a homage to the old cowboy movies where you would see the hero shoot like 40 times out of the gun before he had to reload. Well, Guerrero does the same thing here. Uh, but the fact of the matter is that he's a supernatural entity in this movie. He doesn't need to reload guns. His guns are going to be permanently reloaded, right? And that's pretty much how it happens. It's a pretty nice trick, as long as he controls the guns. If they're not his guns, they run out of ammunition. If they're his guns, he can shoot forever. Really cool actually. Um, this movie was shot in Calgary, Canada, and I got to tell you that these this is a hardy group of actors and cast and crew in this movie because it was damn cold wherever they were filming at. Throughout the whole movie, you could tell that by the breath. It's very very cold. You see the fog coming out of their mouth. It's cold. Um, and I thought that was again another nice touch. They didn't airbrush that out or anything else. They let you see how cold the weather was. Um, at first, I wasn't quite sure where it was filmed at. I was like, "Is this you're over in Europe?" But believe it or not, they filmed it in Calgary, Canada. Calgary, Canada, and nice job. Beautiful, beautiful country to shoot in. It played a western out perfectly. Um, and the town, the production design for this movie was off the chain. Very well done. The acting is solid. The acting is solid. You got Jake Busey and you got Danny Treijo, and you know you're going to get 100% out of them. Dean McDermott played Dr. Goldsworthy, and I didn't know that Dean McDermott really did anything. I thought he was just known for marrying that Tori Spelling chick. That's what I always thought that he did. That was his claim to fame. But he's actually pretty good in this. And so and the young lady who played, they had two main leading ladies. One, Elizabeth Lavender, played Madame Duver, who ended up being on the side of Jackson Boomer. And that's the other thing too about the end of this movie is like all of a sudden people that suddenly spouted out powers. There's a guy named they had called Bulldog, and he was able to find anybody with a sense of smell. And I mean, it was just incredible. It's like, okay, I can understand if you smell somebody spilled their coffee last night, but this guy could smell when someone cleaned up a spill from last week. So he had supernatural smell. And Elizabeth Lavender, who played Madame Duver, all of a sudden she develops the ability to have people tell her the truth. If she asks them a question, they're telling her the truth. I don't know where this came from. There was no backstory about this, about the other people getting abilities. But you know what? Who cares, right? This is just a fun shoot 'em up, and big gunfight at the OK Crowd at the end of the movie. I enjoyed it. It was fun for what it is. Like I said, this came out from Universal 1440. Unfortunately, they closed it down. They closed that division down. That was the division that they were putting off all their sequels, like Death Race and the Scorpion King, Backdraft, movies like that. They were putting on straight to video movies on small budgets. I think they said this movie cost like $4.5 million to make. Every penny went on the screen. All right. Special features include a making of, talking to Danny Treijo, and some deleted scenes as well. Highly recommend it if you like good westerns, you like good supernatural horror like I do, like westerns like I do. Then I definitely would. I definitely would recommend Dead Again in Tombstone. All right, that's it for Dollar Tree Theater. Dollar Tree Theater is a series that is brought to us by our good friend Hobbs Horror, in which we watch and review anything under $1.25 and below. I got this for a quarter at my library, and well worth it too. Well worth it. All right. Well, thanks so much for watching. If you've seen both Tombstone movies, let me know what you think about them. Drop a comment down below, and we'll talk about it. All right. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you next Monday. Peace.